So let's go via the Cowherd Global Satellite Network to Nick Wright. All right, Nick passed out, regained consciousness. What do you make of my assertion, which I don't think is any wild, crazy, nutty thing to say if you look at the history of the NBA? What do you make of my assertion that today it would be tough, you'd get yelled at, but I'd make the deal?
Okay, your assertion is fine. You want to discuss what's more valuable, LeBron for the next 3 to 5 years or Zion for the next 13 to 15. I'll listen to that. But my beef with you isn't that you come from some erudite general manager perspective and I am some fanatic, emotional, heart-on-my-sleeve fan. My issue with you is your cable news-esque chicanery you tried to pull on your audience. Show that graphic again, please.
Okay.
We have what we call here a Y-axis problem. This graphic says that Zion Williamson today is what LeBron James was as a player in year 12. For this graphic to be correct, yes, Zion could be on the uptick, but he needs to be, is he going to be as good as LeBron as a rookie? A little bit worse, a little bit better? He needs to be way down at the bottom. You understand why your stock graphic doesn't quite work? Because take where Zion is. Zion's on one Y-axis, LeBron's on a different one, and then you just layered them against each other like a climate change denier. Like, what are you doing here, Cowherd? This is an absurdity. You know better than this. This is just hijinks. It's just total hijinks.
But you would acknowledge, though, that a couple of things. LeBron has left Cleveland twice. It wouldn't be like trading Magic. LeBron's made himself easier to trade because he hasn't been loyal to even his hometown, one. And two, Zion is absolutely, ridiculously, Bryce Harper, LeBron, Serena. You can't deny he is going to be a remarkable transcendent figure in this league.
Listen, in the post, let's just go from LeBron's rookie year to now. I have thought there were 3 can't miss, have to go number 1, going to be Hall of Famer guys that, barring injury, I'd bet my life on. Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic, Zion Williamson. Now, Luka didn't even go number 1, but that's because the league is nuts, but I'm documented on that. Zion is a can't-miss guy. He walks into the league as what Blake Griffin walked in as, but a better defender, and Blake averaged 23 and 12. Zion is can't-miss. Zion, I did NBA trade assets on our show a month ago. I had Zion as the 4th best trade asset in all of basketball.
Thank you.
LeBron, I think, was 5th. So I understand the point. I think the point that is 15 years of Zion better than 3 or 4 more years of LeBron is a fair one. I love math too much to let that graph stand unopposed.
Okay. You know what? Our pen, the blue ink, got a little crazy. It leaked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to Rick Carlisle rumor to the Lakers. I don't think it's a coincidence. It leaked on the night the Clippers clinched. They want to seem viable and interesting. Carlisle is not leaving Luka Doncic. He is not leaving Kristaps Porzingis or Mark Cuban. I don't buy this for a second. What do you make of the rumors?
Listen, it would be a coup by the Lakers. It would be great. Rick Carlisle is one of the 5 best coaches in basketball, and he would immediately garner LeBron's respect, and that is obviously very important. Now, right now, to me, it looks like it's going to be Ty Lue. I think Ty Lue would be a good choice. I think Mark Jackson would be a fine choice. I think Jason Kidd would be a disastrous choice, but I don't know who the other candidates are because it can't be a first-time head coach. It can't be an assistant. But whomever it is going to have a fair shot at this thing. We've talked about this before. There are 2 coaches in LeBron's tenure two coaches have been fired on his watch. Let's call Luke a third. The first one was Paul Silas when LeBron was 20 years old, midway through year 2. Nobody blamed that on LeBron.
Right.
Another coach was not fired on his watch until David Blatt. David Blatt was an absolute doofus who will never coach in the NBA again, and they went on to win a championship that year. And then Luke got a fair shot. Luke, we will find out whether or not Luke, where he stands in the NBA circles, by whether or not he gets an NBA job next as a head coach. I don't think he will. So I don't blame LeBron for Luke not working, but the next coach has to work, which is why they can't go the Nick Nurse option, even though that's working in Toronto. It's got to be someone that can coach at a championship level.
I want to shift to this, the pass interference rule. We do this a lot where we think something is going to create clarity, and then we change the catch rule, and it creates more confusion. I look at the new pass interference rules. Now, the good news, coaches still only have 2 challenges, so you can only do so much of this. But I think, like the catch rule, the league is looking for more precision, and it's going to create more fuzz, more nebulous arguments, because I think, Nick, I was telling the staff this morning, most pass interference calls don't look like the Rams-Saints call. It's jockeying for position down a sideline. It's a Hail Mary bumping and grinding. I don't like this change engineered by the Saints owners. What say you?
Colin, if you're driving on the 405 and you go under an overpass and a giant boulder lands on the hood of your car, it hadn't happened in your entire life, will never happen again. You don't buy boulder insurance. You say, man, that's terrible luck. You don't change a system for an anomalous event. This call was the worst call in a big game in 5 years. It won't happen again anytime soon. And to change the system because of it is absurd. And mark it down, fans will hate it. By week 5, it will be the biggest complaint point in the NFL because the play that they used as an example as here's pass interference that was not called, that would have been called with a challenge, was a great defensive play in the Super Bowl. The Brandon Cooks breakup right before the Stephon Gilmore game-sealing interception. The NFL said, no, if you challenge that, it would turn into defensive pass interference. What you're going to have is teams get off the field on 3rd and long, and then all of a sudden, you challenge a non-called DPI. It makes offense easier once again. It does not allow referees to set a tone on what will be and won't be called. And by the way, what the hell are they going to do about Hail Marys? Because once you go to replay, it's got to be, this is what the letter of the law is. That is the problem with replay in all sports except for tennis, where they do that really cool computer-generated image, and we don't know if it's real, but it's instant and we trust it, is you go from the spirit of the law, the way a game has always been officiated, to the letter of the law. Oh, why not add instant replay to see if a guy beats a tag in baseball? Sounds great. What could be wrong with it? Oh, it turns out after he does beat the tag, for a 1/10 of a second, he pops off the bag. For 140 years in baseball, he's safe. Now he's out. Welcome to that world in the NFL related to offensive and defensive pass interference. I hate this change. It's an overreaction to an anomalous event.
By the way, Big Ben, I have said, I think he's passive-aggressive, like Aaron Rodgers. There are leadership qualities he does not possess. I like my guys to be Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Breeze, Luck, boring. Stay out of controversies. If you have to bark at a coach, do quickly, briefly move on. Where do you land? 2 minutes left. Big Ben. Looks like the Steelers are backing him 100%. Mike Tomlin yesterday, backing him 100%. What do you make of it?
What I think is Big Ben on Sundays is awesome. And Mondays through Saturdays is a pain in the neck and a bad teammate. I don't even think he's passive-aggressive. He's aggressive-aggressive. He holds his own weekly press conference, essentially, on the radio, knowing it's right before Mike Tomlin's, knowing that Tomlin's going to have to answer for what Big Ben says with no prep time for it, and just throwing, hey, you know that pick I threw that cost us the game that the D tackle intercepted? That was my receiver's fault, actually. I don't know why we don't run more quarterback sneaks. I'd love to, but my offensive coordinator's a moron. Like, he's not a good teammate. He's not a good leader. He is an amazing football player, and he plays hurt, which generates tremendous respect from his teammates. But listen, there's no other quarterback in the league that acts like him on or off the field, and you just got to deal with it. But in the Steelers' version of Game of Thrones, like he has held the Iron Throne and any competitors have been dispatched. It has all been Roethlisberger's team moving forward, if it wasn't already.
For the record, Josh Rosen, Joey and I were talking about this. I said, if I came to FS1 and within a year they're like, listen, we like you, but Bob Costas is available, and they didn't kill the rumors. And by the way, they kept me. I don't think I'd be all in. I think at some level there would be some resentment by me or Josh Rosen. Do you think he can stay with Arizona with all these rumors?
Well, I think your analogy is really interesting because a year after you came to FS1, I mean, maybe they were after Costas. They couldn't afford him. They brought me over instead, and you felt the heat, so you shipped my butt to New York. So I would imagine that this is a somewhat similar situation. The only way the Giants can salvage their offseason is Haskins or Rosen. Whatever it takes, get one of the two. Otherwise, the next rule change the Giants are going to propose is to abolish the forward pass.
Nick Wright, first things first. Great seeing you, buddy.
You too, man. Miss you guys. Great job, Joey. Great job, Colin. Talk to you guys later.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.